Welcome to Wellywood Wargaming, where the grim dark never sleeps. Crack open a bottle of Wild Snake and spark up a low stick as we take a journey down under Hive.
Howdy Hive Scum and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the fabulous House Ulanti, the close allies of House Escher, the rules of which can be found in the House of Blades book on page 80 as well. These guys have no official models as yet, but they're pretty close to Escher in the overall vibe and aesthetic, being the sort of parent house to Escher in Ulanti. One of the oldest noble houses as well, and a really interesting one. Some great opportunities for some modeling here as well. You only need 2 members in this alliance, and they're really cool. So let's get into it. So to start things off, any gang can form an alliance with House Ulanti. You don't have to be an outlaw or law-abiding. You can be either. So just to make that clear, any gang can ally with House Ulanti. But of course, the strong alliance is with House Escher, as they are in the House of Blades book. So this makes sense. It just means that the first time you have to test the alliance, you basically get a free pass on that. So House Escher, the strong alliance, and they can ally with anyone, whether they're criminal or law-abiding. Now, one of the benefits for House Ulanti alliances is that they are incredibly wealthy. They have a special rule called excessive wealth, where you get 2d6 times 10 extra income in the post-battle phase. Yes, 2d6 times 10 credits worth of extra income. This is fantastic as a benefit. The next benefit, of course, is the court advisor. So during the pre-battle sequence, you may add the House Ulanti court advisor, which is the delegation that we're going to talk through here. However, if you're facing against a gang who has a noble or guild delegation alliance, you must include these guys in your crew. So those are the benefits there for House Ulanti. Let's have a look at the drawbacks now. So the first drawback is named Inevitable Betrayal, and it reads as follows. If the gang loses a battle, so hope to not lose any battles, they must test the alliance. So you've got to test the alliance if you lose a battle. That's pretty harsh, because you could lose the allies with House Ulanti pretty quickly if you lose any battles here. If the alliance is broken, the gang's most recent opponent may form an alliance with House Ulanti for their next battle, even if they already have an existing alliance, after which the alliance with House Ulanti is automatically broken. Before we summarize, let's go into the second drawback here, and this is called bored now. I love this. House Ulanti are easily bored by underhive gangs, and the slightest thing can cause them to withdraw their support. During the collect income step of the post-battle sequence, if the gang rolls a double on the 2d6 times 10 credits that they get post-battle, they must also test the alliance. So these guys are super fickle. So you've got a really good benefit in the fact that you can take 2 awesome fighters that we're going to talk about in a second, and also 2d6 times 10 credits. However, if you lose, you have to test the alliance. And if you lose that roll, not only do you lose the alliance, but your opponent gets them for their next game, which is just crazy. And also, they get bored very easily as well. So again, if you roll doubles, which is, you know, pretty high, really, a double 1, double 2, double 3, etc., then you must also test the alliance there as well. Now, of course, the bonus really with House Escher is the first time, you know, you're in a campaign, you're in the alliance, you lose your first battle, you can test the alliance. Because of that strong alliance, you get to get away scot-free basically the first time at least. So it's pretty okay for House Escher. Anyone else though, this is a very fickle alliance indeed. Now for the House Ulanti delegation in question. The House Ulanti court advisor consists of a Ulanti Courtier, I think that's how you say it anyway, it's a French word, right? And a Mirror Mask. They sound pretty interesting, right? They're really cool. These guys have the Abanda part and Here to Help rule. I'll just summarize those quickly for you, but it's pretty much the same for every single alliance. Abanda part means members of the House Ulanti take care of their own, especially valued representatives. Basically, if they get injured, they only go out cold. They don't get any injuries at all. So they're always ready for the next fight, pretty much, provided they don't leave you. Also, Here to Help means that these guys are on top of your crew. So you might get a crew allowance of say 7. These guys are extra, they are free. Pretty cool, right? Let's have a look at the actual fighters in question now. Firstly, of course, the Ulanti Courtier. This chick is movement 5, weapon skill 3+, and ballistic skill 4+, strength and toughness 3, 2 wounds, and initiative of 3+ with 2 attacks. We've got 6+ on leadership, 6+ on cool, 7+ on willpower and intelligence. So pretty good stats, about the same as most champions, however, let down a bit by the average ballistic skill there. Decent enough mental stats, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, etc. about sort of bog standard champion status, really. Now, the Courtier comes with a needle pistol and power sword, two pretty good weapons. The power sword particularly with its -2 AP, power and parry, etc. The needle pistol, a very close range weapon, but quite good against multi-wound targets as well. She comes with counterattack and step aside, which are two fairly average skills there, really. They're nothing to shout about. She does, however, get a displacer field for that 4+ invuln save, which is awesome. So the special rules now. The first special rule is that she is a court advisor hierarchy leader. So she does count as a leader. However, instead of getting the 12-inch leading by example, she gets a 6-inch one instead, so it's a little bit worse. Also, she is a duelist, which is very cool. A House Ulanti Courtier is attacked by a fighter making a charge double action. They may make reaction attacks before their opponent makes their attacks as part of the charge double action. So let's just go through that one again. If you charge this character, she gets to fight first, basically, with all her reactionary attacks. So pretty good. Of course, she's got 2 attacks base with the pistol as well. So 3 attacks, really. It's pretty damn good. 3 with the 2 with the power sword, 1 with the needle pistol when you charge her. So you've got to be really careful because she's quite dangerous, really. That special rule really is the icing on the cake for her, though. Otherwise, she's fairly average as a sort of bog standard champion with okay equipment. I'd say the displacer field is pretty damn good there, and of course the power sword as well, but that special rule really does make her special. Now here's where things get really exciting. I do really love this delegation. The next one is the Mirror Mask. The Mirror Mask has pretty much identical stats here. She's movement 5, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 4+, strength toughness 3, 2 wounds, initiative 3+, and 2 attacks. However, slightly lower on the mental stats here with a leadership of 8, a cool of 6+, willpower 8+, and intelligence 7+. So a little bit different on the mental stats, but otherwise the stats are exactly the same. She also is identically armed with a needle pistol and power sword. However, she comes with the Nerves of Steel skill, which is excellent when you've got that cool of 6+ there as well to remain standing. So definitely a better skill than the leader there, but only 1 skill instead of 2. She does also get the displacer field as well, so 2 characters with invulnerable saves that bounce around a little bit when you hit them. Very, very cool indeed. However, she has got one of the best special rules in the game. I absolutely love this, and it's called Many Faces. This reminds me of Game of Thrones, straight up. So Many Faces reads as follows. When the Mirror Mask activates, they may swap positions with the Ulanti Courtier regardless of where the 2 fighters are on the board, including if the fighters are engaged or prone. The Mirror Mask may then take its actions as normal. So you can do this for free. It doesn't cost any actions. Each time the Mirror Mask activates, she may swap places with the Courtier. This has so much potential for shenanigans. And again, you can do it when they're engaged, and you can do it when they're prone. Granted, the Mirror Mask doesn't have the same special rule as the sort of reaction attacks that you get with the Courtier there, but being able to just swap these characters out wherever they are on the field of battle is just magnificent. If you don't know about these guys, then I highly recommend using them. And actually, I would say, rather than an alliance, because the alliance is so tricky to manage with all the testy alliance stuff going on in there, it's really good if you get the money and you're winning all your battles, then great. However, when you start testing the alliance with these guys, they're highly likely to leave you high and dry. So it's worth bearing in mind. The thing that I would like to talk about with these guys, though, is, of course, using them as a delegation-led outcast gang sort of leadership group. So the Courtier is your leader. The Mirror Mask is a champion, I would say. It doesn't actually specify here whether the Mirror Mask is in fact a champion or a ganger. They don't have any special rules around being a champion, so perhaps they are actually a ganger and you would get your outcast champions as well. But I would love using these guys as outcast leadership group. I think there's so much potential for some really interesting kit bashing and of course the shenanigans with those special rules as well. Please do let me know, of course, in the comments if you've used these guys in your games and how good they are. How much in terms of the shenanigans could you actually do with these? Of course, the other thing that's worth considering is you could give them new weapons and skills and equipment as well if you do go down the outcast route as well. You don't have to take the needle pistol and power sword. You can pay extra for other stuff if you wish. So you could do some really, really fun stuff with it. Anyway, I'd really like to know in the comments what you think of these guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with another one real soon. Peace out.